Hey guys, it is early Saturday morning here in the Philippines, so it is officially Halloween where I'm at. So, as promised, we are doing a Halloween Spooktacular Extravaganza for this free-for-all weekend video. And as you guys know, I'm a huge Pristine fan, so I have a lot of different variants of Pristine. I think I have a variant from every manufacturer that makes a diecast of her. So that's like the centerpiece of this video. But it's not the only thing. We have some hearses, we have some horror movie star cars, even some cars that represent like a horror movie car, but it's really not an officially licensed product. So I brought some of those out to show you guys, and you can kind of probably get the same feeling I do with these cars, how they represent a certain car from a certain movie. So anyways, let's take a look at some of these guys. Some of these are repetitive from like some of the unboxings we did, but not too many of them. Maybe just one or two. But anyways, excuse me. Let's go ahead and take a look at all the Pristines. So, up front here, these first four. I'm not going to pick each individual one up at first, kind of just showing you different variants. Well, these four are from Auto World, which I think makes the best 58 Plymouth Belvedere Fury diecast 164 period. Not just with Pristine, but just that casting in general. So here we have the Evil Pristine. This is the second release of the silver screen. Unfortunately, this release, the hood does not open. Don't know why they did that. On a lot of the newer, like, retail release 58 Furies and Belvederes, the hoods are sealed also. Not sure why Auto World decided to do that, but they did, unfortunately. So yeah, it does not open on this one. Now, the first silver screen that was in a PVC clamshell style package that the car was in a display case, it did have an opening hood. But this second release that was just on a regular card with a blister did not have an opening hood. Now, the next one in our lineup, you guys have seen probably in my top 10 videos. This is the red chrome Miho exclusive, and this one also does not have an opening hood, and I thought it did. I think I even told you guys a couple of videos that it did have an opening hood, but it does not. So that's also surprising to me, but really cool in the red chrome. And I'm just doing this quickly with some of these because we've seen them before, but kind of just giving you a round, an overall round look at these guys. So this one you always see in the diorama. This is like a permanent fixture in the diorama. This one does have the opening hood with the dual quad. I think it's a Hemi. Maybe it could be a wedge engine. Yeah, it looks, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. It may be a first gen Hemi. It may be like a wedge style engine. Not sure. But anyways, they did a fantastic job representing this car down to the dent. It's not really dented, but it's painted to look like that dent tear on the quarter panel, which is perfect. They got every detail right on this one. Now, Johnny Lightning makes this car too, and I showed you guys that a couple weeks ago, but actually it may have even been last week or earlier this week. I can't recall. All these videos kind of blend together to me. But it's nicely done too, but it's just a little small in the scaling. And I have a Johnny here to show you guys. This one we just looked at, and as I said, this car is great. It even feels burnt, like the burnt version of Pristine. The only thing I wish they would have done is put those wheels and tires on it. It would have looked a lot more accurate. So, moving from Auto World to Greenlight now. This is the one car I was lacking in my first Pristine comparison and review video. I did not have the Greenlight one. Now I do. So this is a fantastic casting also by Greenlight, and this is another one that does not have an opening hood. So anyways, no big deal. I mean, it doesn't really matter. This car is great. The only thing that I think takes away from the detail is the chrome around the windows. They shouldn't have put all of that there. Like how even the Auto World, they didn't do that. They kind of left some of it off. They just put that main like drip rail molding, and that was it. And then the A-pillar on this one is way big. So that's the things that I don't like about this casting. This is one of the things that ruined their 240Z casting too, is the windows. But anyways, still yet cool casting, cool car, and pretty good besides that side windows and that A-pillar. I will probably buy a couple more 58 Plymouths from Greenlight. There's actually the one that they buried in the time capsule in 1958 and they brought back out. I think it was in 2008 maybe, or it was 2018. I think 2008. I think it was 50 years later they dug the car up, but the time capsule had leaked and it was really rusty. So they make that one, and I do want to pick that up. Just, it's pretty cool and it's a part of history. So next is Hot Wheels, and this is from the Retro Entertainment series, and I'm really surprised Hot Wheels hasn't tried to cash in on different variants of Christine like Auto World did, because you know Hot Wheels is always doing like the same watch the Retro Entertainment car like over and over again. They may change the wheels on it, but it's still the same car. Like Ecto 1 they've released like 4 times already. Same thing with like the Back to the Future cars. They've released each one I think 2 or 3 times each. So yeah, they really try to reuse the casting. But Christine has different variations like Auto World has been cashing in on. They've only made the regular Evil Christine twice, but the other ones they've released have been all different variants, which is pretty cool. Hot Wheels release is nice. It's actually pretty good for Hot Wheels. Even the scaling is not bad. We use the Auto World to compare because it's actually true to scale, and the Hot Wheels is the same length, same width, everything. So the Hot Wheels is actually pretty good. I'm impressed with the Hot Wheels, actually. So it can actually pass for a real car in a diorama. It doesn't look cartoonish with the proportions, and the scaling is 100% accurate for 164, so this is really nice. Last but not least is the Johnny. Johnny is a little bit small. Even the wheels and tires look a little bit big for this casting because the car is so small. That's the thing that I was pointing out with some Johnny Lightning stuff with some of them else, is that sometimes they are underscale and sometimes the body lines are off and it just makes it look a little strange. Like this one, this is one thing they're notorious for, is the wheel openings. Like as you could see, the wheel openings aren't too accurate, but they're not too bad. They're not like some of the E-bodies, like even the new Challenger or the old Challenger and Cudas have really weird looking enlarged wheel openings. So Johnny Lightning is notorious for doing that. But Johnny Lightning does have an opening hood with a detailed engine, but the wrong engine. It just has a single 4-barrel with the snorkel air cleaner. And I believe Christine did have the dual quads in the movie. But still yet, opening hood. And it's supposed to be evil, but the side windows are down, so it does have a detailed interior. Unlike the Greenlight and the Auto World, the side windows are up, which in the movie, when it was evil, they were always up, and you could not see the interior. But Johnny Lightning did it slightly different. But still, cool casting. This comes from the diorama with, it says Repperton's Reckoning, where it has the Camaro and Buddy in the diorama. So these are our Christines. So as I said, I think there's only 4 of them on the market. Well, 4 manufacturers making them, which I think that's all the big ones. The only one that has not made one yet is M2, and M2 has the casting, so they very well could make Christine. They made a couple variants in the early years in the Autothenics that represent Christine very well. They even make a ground pounder that looks very much like Christine, red with the white top. So you could get an M2 and say, hey, this is Christine, but it's not a licensed product. Similar to what I did with these cars I'm going to show you now. One e-body that's very well known in the horror movie industry was the 71 CUDA from Phantasm. So that's why I got this guy out here. Because the 71 CUDA in Phantasm was all black. But it did not have the billboards on it, and it did not have a vinyl top. And it had a, I don't know how to even call the hood, the one with the air intakes, kind of like a Ram Air hood. It did not have the shaker hood on it. And it had chrome bumpers and so forth. But you get the idea. This is supposed to represent the Phantasm 71 CUDA from Part 1 and 2. Pretty much Part 2, because Part 2, it did not have those flares. Part 1, it was like a 70s custom with a little bit of a flare on the front and rear fenders. The second movie had a totally different 71 CUDA, but it was supposed to be the same one, but it wasn't. Anyways, it had stock body lines, but it was just all gloss black, with Kragers on it too. But hey, this is supposed to represent it. I did not have a 70 convertible. I have a 71 convertible, but it's blue also. In the Part 3 movie, they had a 70 convertible that was all black, but it had a white hockey stripe on the back. And it was a Hemi car, I guess. A real Hemi car, as far as I know. The 71 from the first movie, I believe, was a 340 car that they made to look like a Hemi car. So I wish they would market this as like Phantasm collectible. They make a 1/18th of it. I wish Greenlight would make a 1/64th of it. That would be great. They have the casting. All they have to do is get the licensing. The other car that I was going to use, and I'm actually trying to use it for 2 movies, to be honest with you guys. So this is a 69 Charger in black with like centerline wheels. Well, I was going to say this is like Blade, the vampire, or the vampire slayer, but he is a vampire. So that's perfect for Halloween theme. But his was a 68. So this is a 69, but it's pretty close. And supposedly the car from Blade was one of the cars used in the Fast and Furious movie too. They just put the blower motor in it, but I don't know how true that is. That's kind of like hearsay. But anyways, this is kind of to represent the Blade Charger, but as I said, his is a 68, this is a 69. Now, another movie that I was going to use this for is Death Proof, one of my favorites, like car horror movies outside of Christine. And this would have been Stuntman Mike's Charger at the end, but it does not have the white skull and lightning bolts on the hood. And then I also have the 70 Challenger. This is the Vanishing Point 70 Challenger, but I could actually say that is the one in the last scene that the girls were driving, and this is Stuntman Mike's car. So not really a horror movie, more of a thriller, like murder type movie, but still yet was labeled as horror. So we'll say that. Stuntman Mike, and then the Stunt Girl Challenger. So that's what we'll use these to represent. And as I said, you can kind of maybe say it looks like Blade's car, just a little bit off because of the year. So then we move along to the one that we seen yesterday, or Wednesday, the Supernatural Impala. I had to put this guy back in here because it is an iconic, like, well, supernatural car. So it's one that you see a lot when talking about horror movie film cars or show cars and such. So that's why I had to put him back in here for our extravaganza. Then another repeat was the Monster Coach. Not really horror movie, but it is a comedy, horror, monster type thing. And this is a very iconic Barris custom. So definitely had to put him in here once again. This was, I think, brought out on October 1st to kick off the month of Halloween. So he comes in with October and goes out with October. So really cool casting by Johnny Lightning. I wish I had the Dragula. I looked for it. They used to be for sale here, but I think the hobby shops that did have them sold out and no longer have them. So I tried to find one of them for this video, but I could not do it. And another one that I screwed up on was the Ecto 1. I thought I had it, but I don't anymore. I misplaced it or something, but I could have swore I had one of the Retro Entertainment second release Ectos from Hot Wheels, but I don't. So sorry guys, I was going to bring that out. I do have pre-Ecto though, which we've seen quite a bit. This is when Ray bought it before it was restored. So this is like Ecto 1 prior to, well, becoming Ecto 1. So this is really cool though. I do dig this casting by Johnny Lightning that they made this. It's just really neat looking, the unrestored Ecto 1. And then it's supposed to be an ambulance and not a hearse. That's why it's got the big gumball light on the roof and then the red and blue like spotlights on the roof too. But usually this would have been a hearse. It just reminds me of a hearse with the black and then the curtains and things like this. So then we could say it was restored. And here's the 59 that you guys seen a few months back with the first hearse that I got in these new Johnny Lightning hobby exclusive hearses. This is a very cool car. So that's like you could say that was prior to being restored. If you got rid of the lights, and then post-restoration and pre-restoration. So looks pretty cool next to each other. So the other one that is a repeat from this week is the Gold 66 hearse. But I had to bring him back because we're doing hearses, and I think I have like 5 or 6 hearses total. And I have another 66 here that we've seen, well, I think on the first of the month once again. It came in with the Barrett-Jackson and is going out with the Barrett-Jackson, and that is the Black 66. So nothing says Halloween better than some hearses. So I even seen some of you guys are doing like hearse customs, and I gotta watch some of your videos because I love hearses. And I know Mike Espo had mentioned to me that he was doing some hearses, so I gotta check out Mike's videos, and a bunch of other guys are doing this too. So I love watching these custom videos, and I love hearses. So this is going to be a great weekend to watch these videos on customizing hearses. So 66, this is my favorite one. I think I like it better than the 59. And the number 1 hearse that I have in my collection is a little bit bigger scale, not too huge, but big. You guys have seen this before. It's from the James Bond series, and it's from Slumber Funeral Homes, as you could see in the window. Slumber, sleep, well, permanent sleep. So this would be your last place to sleep, your last ride, and so on. So these look really cool together. Johnny Lightning even does make this a James Bond one in 1/64th. A few years back they made it, like even prior to round 2 owning Johnny Lightning. It was like, I think in 2001 or 2002, it would have been when they were collaborating with RC2, I believe. So these two just look cool together. It looks like hearse with its mini-me or something like this. So, but yeah, as I said before when I was showing you guys some of my 143rds, and I still have more to show you, I just stopped collecting them so much because they take up so much space, and the TED 990. So, no relevance on the plate for any kind of vanity, I don't think. But anyways, back to the 143rd stuff. I stopped collecting so much because it takes up so much room. That's why I even sold some of them, like the Olds 442 and the 73 Chevy Bel Air. I told you guys had new homes, but I wasn't able to get them to my friend yet because of the coronavirus and the quarantine, so that's why I showed them in my videos. But now they're at their new home with my buddy Frank. So anyways, still occasionally I will get a bigger scale car, but not too often. It has to be something really, really cool. I was going to bring in a 1/24th Mystery Machine, but I didn't. You guys can see it, though, in one of my older videos. I did an unboxing dedicated just to it. It comes with little figures of Scooby and Shaggy. Really cool piece from Jada. But I just didn't think I would have time, which I don't think I would have, because we're already at 20 minutes. So let's do our last couple of cars. This is a car that actually was made by Hot Wheels, but it never was a car. This was Ghost Rider's Charger. And because it's a Mopar, and because it's on fire, and Ghost Rider is supposed to be like a hellspawn or something, that's why I have it in this lineup. So it looks really cool. And if you guys have this casting, you know that these flames and such come off very easily, so you can just have the car. But unfortunately, well, not really unfortunately, because as you know, I like colored tires, but this has all the flames that come off the blower, come off the sides, and then you're left with a black 69 Charger with a blower motor and orange tires. They also make this in the cold variant, but I thought that was very much on the contrary to what Ghost Rider stands for, so I did not buy it. This one I did because it does represent Ghost Rider being on fire and riding around the city, except he's always on a Harley like Chopper and not driving a Mopar. But hey, cool concept though. I do like it that he would be on a Mopar, or in a Mopar, and even the plate, his vanity plate, Ghost Rider. So really cool piece to have, especially if you're a Mopar guy. Then the next two are because of the name. What better says Halloween than a demon? So I have your old school demon from Hot Wheels, the Super Treasure Hunt variant, and I brought this one out because it has flames on it, so it looks evil and such. So that's why I brought this one instead of my Johnny Lightning variants. So that's why we have the original Demon. This is the original, the first one ever, the 1971, and they made them in 72 also, which was almost identical. The only difference was the marker lights, and it had a full open grill instead of a split grill. But they had to get rid of the name because of all the protesting by the churches, so they started calling them a Dart Sport in 73. Then we have the regular, well, not regular, but the new Demon Challenger. And this one is cool. This is just like the first of the new one, I guess you could call it. And I don't know if it has the little demon. Yeah, it does on the front fender. So it has that demon emblem on it. So it does look pretty cool. And it does represent Halloween, I think. So it's red. It even looks like the devil's car. Red with black and the name Demon. And so really cool. Still looking for the newest release of this Super that has Jegs Racing on the side. Need that one definitely for my collection. So if anybody in the Philippines has one for sale, please contact me. I don't want to buy abroad because of the shipping cost, but if you have one locally, I am definitely interested. So another thing, show you guys real quick, because I was using all these fake monster trucks, just lifted square bodies. I figured I would show you a couple of real monster trucks from Greenlight that I have not shown you before. This is the Heritage USA 1 series. Looks really cool, just in this sapphire blue. And it says USA 1 on the quarter panel, but like I said, this is from the Heritage series, so I'm not sure if this was actually one that they used or not, or if this was just like a show vehicle. Not really sure on that, or if this was prior to them using the basically iconic red, white, and blue paint job. So this is a very cool casting. Greenlight makes some really cool monster trucks that look more realistic than like the Hot Wheels stuff, especially for the old school things. This is another one from the Heritage series, and it was in their Monster Truck series. Now, this is with a little bit smaller tire. This is like when they first started the Monster Truck thing. They had like shorter tires and such on them, but this is one that doesn't look like a monster truck, but it was labeled as a monster truck. So that's why I brought these two back out, because these are the real monster trucks with the name Monster. So that's kind of why I did these last two. The Demon, because demons and monsters always sound cool for Halloween. So, and back it up just a little bit, guys, and there is the Halloween Extravaganza. I know there's a lot of cars that should have been in here that's not in here. Greenlight makes some really cool stuff, like from Friday the 13th, the Chainsaw Massacre, and a bunch of other ones, but I do not have them, unfortunately. I wanted to have the Ghostbusters Ecto 1, the original, but I don't have it. I have the new, like, 78 or 80 Cadillac hearse from the one with the women Ghostbusters, but I haven't had a chance to unbox it yet, so I'm saving that for one of our movie Mondays to unbox it. So, guys, I hope you have a happy and safe Halloween. We are under a severe typhoon warning here, so that's another reason I'm launching this video a little earlier than I wanted to, because of the fact we may not have internet or power after Sunday and Monday. We're supposed to get hit pretty hard, as far as I understand. It's like a signal number 4, I think, and it's picking up strength on its way here. So that's going to be our Halloween horror for the weekend, is a typhoon. So hopefully it's mild when it gets here. Hopefully nothing too tragic happens and so forth. But anyways, if I have power, I will be back at you guys on Monday with a movie car. Monday unboxing again, but this one will not be Greenlight. This one will be Hot Wheels. I have the newer Fast and Furious set. I think it's called Quick Shifters, with the CUDA, the Vet, the R33 NSX, and a Honda S2000. So we will be taking a look at those on Monday, so be sure to tune back in for that. If you guys have not subscribed yet, please remember to do so. Please give me a thumbs up, and please share the video and tell your friends about my channel. So happy Halloween, guys. Have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday.